This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by State Farm Insurance.
Well, spring is here and you're probably looking around your home and seeing about 20 things that need to be taken care of. That includes, your gutters need cleaned and repaired, trees need pruned, the front porch needs painted. Wait, that's my list. That's what needs to be done around my house, but you get my point.
There you go. Now, whether you do it yourself, you ask a neighbor for a hand, or hire a contractor, you need to know what would happen if someone gets hurt. Our next guest is Janine O'Donnell, who is State Farm Insurance Agent in Lewis. Thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here.
This is really an important point to find out whether or not your homeowner's covers, well, what it does cover, what it doesn't cover, because you really don't want to wind up in court, do you?
No, you don't, Jimmy. And like I always say, it's better to know 5 years ahead than one day too late. So one of the things that you talked about, having a contractor come out and liability, most people may not realize that there's a section, we call it Section 2 of your homeowner's policy, and that does cover the lawsuits, the medical payments that a homeowner may be responsible for. And you mentioned having a contractor in, this policy may provide some of the coverage for legal defense in the event of a lawsuit, but a contractor should have their own policy.
Right.
So,
as you should have your own as well.
Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
We shouldn't just assume that contractor has his own policy, should we?
You are absolutely right, Lisa. We always recommend that you ask anybody that's going to do work on your home for what we call a certificate of insurance. Ask that they show you proof that they have their liability in place, workers' comp if they have employees. And if they don't, frankly, you may want to find another contractor.
Okay, so if I don't hire a contractor, what if I'm doing it myself, which I like to, and I get hurt? Does my homeowners cover that? No,
and that's a great question, Jimmy. We get it all the time. You are not covered by your homeowner's policy.
So that would go under what, my medical?
Your medical, exactly.
Oh.
Okay, so what if you decide to do it yourself and your neighbor comes over and helps you out? How are they covered?
Friends and free labor, always great. Like my mom always said, it's all fun and games till somebody pokes their eye out. That's right. So what you want to check on also under that Section 2 is something called medical payments. And I like to call it more of a good neighbor coverage, because what it does is provides coverage for friends, neighbors, relatives, or guests that may be over and hurt on your property. And a couple other things not relating to doing some homework, but if you have pools or pets or children that have friends over, another good reason to check your policy and see what your medical limits are.
Okay.
So let's say I want to expand on the house. I want to put on another bedroom. I got new construction.
Okay.
What do I need to do?
Call your agent, really. It's one of the things that we always recommend to our clients. Call us, let us know what is happening, because the changes that you make to your home can affect your policy. We may need to increase the replacement cost, or if you're doing things like maybe adding a security system, that might help with a discount.
All right, so what about just building a house from the bottom up? Is that different?
It is, and in most circumstances the builder or contractor will cover that home until you take ownership. But there are some circumstances where you, as the person that's purchasing the home, may have to get something called a builder's risk policy that will help cover the home while under construction and liability for that property.
Okay. So let's say I'm remodeling. I guess there's a whole bunch of steps I need to go through. I need to go to the bank, make sure I get a loan, I need to make sure that I have plans drawn up. Should I include in that entire process talking to my agent about what I'm wanting to do?
We love being included. Include us, include us. No, you should, because again, there may be changes that affect the policy, whether from the replacement cost standpoint. A lot of people, if they're adding a room, add additional furniture and things contents-wise that we may also need to adjust. So definitely think of us during that process.
So be sure to document as well. Take pictures and things like that.
Great point. Always take pictures. We always recommend to our clients that they have a home inventory completed, especially prior to storms. Take pictures of everything that you have, because a picture's worth 1,000 words.
All right, so much good information, stuff I never even thought about. Thank you so much, Janine. And of course, if you would like to learn more about State Farm Insurance, including how to contact State Farm agent Janine O'Donnell, go to our website, delmarvalife.com, and click on the show tab.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, how about a middle of the week pick-me-up in the form of $250? We're going to tell you how you can get your hands on the big bucks.
Plus, figuring out what to get mom for Mother's Day can turn into quite a project. You know, most moms just want a little rest and relaxation. How you can make sure that rest is done in something comfortable.
And the inspirational story of an Easton High School student who spreads smiles and motivation, whether he's on the court or in the classroom or on the field. But first, we just talked about safety while sprucing up our homes. Once you're ready to sit back and relax, Rachel Ray has a handy how-to tip on how to do that without any pests.
Here's 2 great natural ways to enjoy your backyard without pests or even worrying about poison ivy. Next time you're starting up a campfire, throw in a bundle of sage to the fire. It'll keep all the bugs away. Love this tip, and it smells great. Then, take 5 pounds of salt, a gallon of soapy water, combine it, spray it on an area where there's poison ivy, and it will kill the poison ivy before it makes you start itching.